Hello everybody, welcome back to some Agrarian Skies 2. You'll notice some changes since last time. I had a bit of a recording difficulty, but I disassembled part of what I built last time, or last time for me, but I wasn't actually recording, so I disassembled it so we can talk about it. This is something I failed to disassemble because I was trying to get some more ore. But in between episodes, my goal was to basically get together enough ore that I could build a more automated ore generator system. And I did that. So let's go over that. I'm going to put all the stuff that I'm going to be using for this system in here, and we'll get to it in a bit. So the first thing, I use this stone generator for the kind of initial power, but I'd really like to convert to using lava. So I've got a few things set up on the crafting tables to show. The first is this igneous extruder. Use copper gears, pneumatic servos, glass machine frame, and a piston. And you get an igneous extruder. What, you might ask, is an igneous extruder? Well, it's a neat little guy that lets you generate different stone types. So I place him down there. I put him down there for a decent reason. What we're going to do, we talked about the output configuration, but basically top, bottom, left, right, back. If that's the front, I want the right side to output cobble. And nothing else. When I'm doing cobblestone, it doesn't, you give it a bucket of water, a bucket of lava, and it just generates cobblestone. I can use this to keep these crucibles filled up. What I'm going to do first, though, is use it to get myself a couple of blocks of obsidian. You may be thinking, why do you want obsidian? Well, I would kind of like to build this system out this way, and I would kind of prefer not manually building the platform. Right? Manually building the platform involves, well, they're still going to be sneaking up to the edge, hanging out over the side, right, and trying to place blocks. That's great. I'd like something a little better. That is a builder's wand. To make that, I need an obsidian and 2 diamonds, or an unstable ingot, but I don't want to deal with an unstable ingot right now. So, let's get a brick of obsidian, shall we? So I'll set that to obsidian, and I've got enough fluid in here. Plug that in. You'll notice when it's set to obsidian, both the water and the lava are consumed, and a single block of obsidian out of it. So I'm going to set it back to cobble. Again, put lava in it and water in it. And now it is making cobble, and you can see that lava and water are not consumed. Now the next thing I want to do is feed that cobble into these areas here. So I'm going to take this item duct, and I like using the opaque item ducts. You can use others. Is this going to augmentation, integrated servo mechanism, allows for automatic transfer, redstone control. Okay, for some reason it is not wanting to send items out. I may need to fine. No, okay, it is. It is. It's working on it. Alright, so that's going to keep my lava going. Next up, I'm going to need lava to generate power. The big thing I want lava for is to feed into my favorite power source, the magmatic dynamos. Sorry, I'm just filling the smeltery back up. I noticed it was nearly empty in terms of its fuel. Alright, there we go. The smeltery is back in good shape. While we're over here, let's get the builder's wand set up. That was an obsidian, 2 diamonds, and you get a builder's wand. What that gets you, you'll notice I have a bunch of cobblestone in my inventory. With the builder's wand, you can see a wireframe when I place it against a block, and I'm holding shift, which means I'm only going to get one layer. If I don't hold shift, you can see it. It does several different types of blocks where it's trying to decide what I want. When the wireframe matches what you would like for it to do, right click and you get that in one shot, which is pretty useful for building out platforms. I'm sure some of you enjoy placing blocks one at a time so they go exactly where you want, but I kind of like not having to do that. So yeah, I'll be building platforms like this from now on. You can see without shift held, it was able to do 6 blocks at a time on 2 different rows. But anyway, let's just make sure. Oh, I have some areas that are going to be too dark. We really can't have that. Okay, next up, magmatic dynamo. Also, I'm going to put the builder's wand someplace safe. We'll set that right there. Okay. Next up, would like to build something for power. I'm going to use a magmatic dynamo. The reason I like a magmatic dynamo, one, they look cool, and that's a good enough reason in most cases. The other is they're more powerful than the generators. The generators give, well, it doesn't actually list it anymore, but I believe at one point it was 40 RF a tick, might have gone up to 80, but the magmatics, I believe, are either 80 or 120. So, we have a magmatic dynamo now. What does that do? Well, wrong chest. We're going to need our, we're going to need a hardened fluiduct. This is important. This is a change from thermal expansion to when they split it to thermal foundation. There are different types of fluiducts and item ducts now. So if we look at them, there's leadstone flux duct's not a good example. Here we go. Temperate fluiduct, hardened fluiduct. The difference is if hot and cold liquids can pass through them safely. The temperate ones, they can't. The hardened ones can. Difference in recipe. The temperate uses copper and lead. The hardened uses Invar and lead. So it takes just a little bit more effort to get them, but since I'm wanting these to hold lava, that's going to be useful. Okay, that should be enough to, let's see. This is one of the reasons I like building the platform too deep, because I'm going to come over here, leaving myself a little bit of an area down here to walk around, and I'm going to put the power generation right there. That's not how I want that to end up. Also not how I want it to end up. Maybe I have to actually set a conduit or flux duct, because, well, it may not do this. There we go. With this tier of dynamo, power will only be output on this funny looking side here, so I want that to plug into the power conduit. So next up, we need these fluid ducts to start sending over lava. To do that, I'm going to need to put some servos on them, and I don't think I set up the servo recipe anywhere. So yeah, that's pulverizers. Okay, I'll be right back after building the servos. This is worth noting. There's a couple options for servos. I would like the hardened servos because I'm putting them on hardened fluid ducts. That is Invar, redstone, glass, and iron nuggets. So let's go get some of that. We're going to need a couple of Invar. Those are Invar nuggets. I'm going to want iron nuggets. I'm going to want redstone. And the glass is upstairs. I also put in another ladder while I was thought I was recording. Oh, my chopper might not be working correctly. I will have to go check on that in a minute. Oh, I need to create nuggets. There we are. Perfect. 2 hardened servos. So I would like to make 2 of this recipe. Alright, let's see if this helps. Alright, now placing those servos, and when I configure them to redstone ignore, that should now pump out the lava into the dynamo, which is now full and speeding up power. Now the dynamos, they come with, in Agrarian guys, they come with the integrated redstone circuit that basically allows redstone control, but they don't come with any of the efficiency upgrades or the ones that let them idle effectively. So this guy is going to be consuming lava even while idle for right now, and that's okay. I'm gonna expand this lava production at some point, but for right now, you know, we've got some fluid. It definitely used up a lot of what I had. What I want now is a series of pulverizers. So if we go and look, the pulverizer, which we looked at in another episode, will take cobble and make it into gravel, gravel into sand, gravel and sand into dust. I have several more pulverizers set up here. Oh, I didn't finish setting them up. I need 1 more piston, 2 more copper gears. To make, I don't think I showed copper gears. To make a copper gear, you need 4 ingots of copper. a gear pattern or gear cast. And then I also need one piston, which can be made with aluminum. I'm going to need more wood. Okay. You know what? I don't have any redstone on me. I'm really looking forward to getting applied energistics working. That simplifies some of these things immensely. Alright, let's make our piston. Great. We'll finish making our copper gears. Okay, they're ready. Pour them into the gear cast. And you can see they use 4 each. And now we have 3 more pulverizers. You may be thinking, why do you need 6 pulverizers? I'm glad you asked. Basically, what I want to set up here is 3 different sets of pulverizers. I want one set of pulverizers to do, let's see, let me expand the platform and then I will be right back. I'm going to disconnect that so it'll stop eating up lava. Right back. I'm back. Just made a quick platform addition out here. Only took a couple of minutes with the builder's wand, but you know, kind of boring. I'm not sure why I have invar gears there. I'll figure it out. Alright, let's get these pulverizers set up. So, the way I tend to like running this is, let's set up the first one, the first column of it, kind of right here. Second column. Third column. And I know you're thinking, wait a minute, what are you talking about? What are those columns and what are you doing? We'll show you. What we're doing, I did not make enough power conduits. Redstone, glass, and lead. And we gotta go upstairs for the glass. Leadstone flux duct. Alright, we will need one. Actually, no, I need a fluid duct there. Alright, so now we can set these pulverizers. What I want to do is set up so that each of the pulverizers feeds into the next one. So this one's going to take in cobblestone from the right side, and it's going to feed out to the back the sand, which it gets on the secondary output, and to the left it's going to feed out the gravel that it gets on primary. This one, similarly, is going to take in gravel and feed out sand, with the dust going to the back. This guy probably got the idea by now. He's going to put both of his outputs to the left because secondary output is also dust. And there we go. On this row, they're going to do a similar thing where the input, output, secondary output. There we go. And finally, you know what? I set these up wrong. I apologize. I want to set them up the other direction because I would like for this to take in right, so this is making cobble, spit out gravel, sand to the back. This guy is going to do a similar thing where he takes in cobble, spits out gravel, takes sand to the back. This guy's going to take in the gravel, yes, the gravel there, spit out the sand to the right side, and the dust to the back. Then this guy is going to do the same thing in basically the same way. Right, the goal is that each of these is going to talking and clicking through is hard because I'll lose my place and forget what I'm trying to accomplish. Like that. Oh, there's my problem. Okay, there we go. So, you know what? Yeah. Alright, so this guy, we're going to get gravel here. I'm going to have sand coming out over here into, I knew I was missing something. Alright. This guy will be sifting gravel. This guy will be sifting sand. This guy will be sifting dust. So, if we get our item ducts, I'll show you how this hooks up. The sand will come down here, and I'm going to turn off that. So the sand that comes off of the secondary output here will feed directly into the sand sifter. This one is a little more complicated because what we really want to do here is the sand that comes off. You know what? I'm going to need one more power on each one. There we go. That is not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. The sand will... You know what? This guy needs to be turned around. Okay, this is getting a little more complicated. So now his right side is that input, left side is the output. Alright, so the sand output now comes off into the sand. This guy will be doing dust, and it needs to come off into the dust sifter, while this guy, Alright, the gravel here, sorry, the sand here just needs to come down into this one that needs to have his output, let's see, input to the back. Right. Now this guy is going to be generating dust as his secondary, which if I don't output it out the back, it will cause problems. So yeah, I can just drop it directly into the dust sifter. That should be okay. Alright, so I just need 2 more item ducts. Don't think that's fluid duct. Nope, did not make any more item ducts. Yep. 10 lead, 10. And I'd really like to be able to make the impulse item ducts. They're much faster. But, let's see, that's an impulse item duct opaque. Yeah, you just put lead on impulse item duct, aluminum glass. Sorry, I'm totally missing where you build them. There we go. You take an item duct frame and add energized glowstone to it. I'm really not in a position to make energized glowstone right now, so we're going to go with the basic ones, which is again 10 lead and 10. Alright, that should do it. Oh, I'm going to need to turn that back on. So what we should have happening here, this guy is going to take in cobble, make gravel. The gravel goes into the sifter. The sand goes into this pipe. Same thing here. The sand goes into this pipe. The gravel goes into this pulverizer. Goes down here. The sand from here goes into the sifter with the rest of the sand. The dust goes down into this one. This one we have the sand. I'm going to need to set some filters on this because I need the sand to input. Actually, no. I should be okay because this is set with servo control for the input side. You know what? We will try it and find out. Now, the other thing I'm going to need is another igneous extruder. I might need more than one. So, let's go build one. And I could do this a couple different ways. I could do this with barrels and a few other things, but I really just want to do it with the extruders. So I'm going to build this, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have the igneous extruders. What I'm doing with them is I'm going to set up the bottom to be outputs. They're set up both for cobble. Alright, let's go fill them up. It's important to remember which one you put the lava in. It's also really important to be careful when you're putting lava into these things because you really don't want to mess up and accidentally place a lava block in your world. That tends to ruin your day. Water blocks are irritating, but not nearly as likely to be fatal. Alright, next up we also need to put one of these hardened fluid ducts back in to power that thing. Alright, so if we have done this correctly, right, our extruders are extruding, our pulverizers, okay, that one has not gotten what it needs yet. It will, though. I think what this means is I'm going to need another igneous extruder at some point. Maybe. Not sure. We'll figure that out. But what we have going now, each of these guys is going to be getting lots of stuff, which is cool, because now we're going to have to do something with it. That's where we get into some fun. So, there's a couple of ways that we can deal with this. One way is the cyclic assembler. Right? This guy will basically let you make a pattern, and if it has the proper materials to make that pattern, it will go and do it. That's fine. That'll work for any pattern you can put into the thing. But if you remember a couple episodes ago, we made this auto packager. And what he does is a little bit like a cyclic assembler, but more limited. He only does things in squares. Turns out all we need is squares for this. So, I want... I think I need 3 auto packagers, because I want one... What we're going to do... Here, I'll set this part up real quick. And then I'll go make the auto packagers. What we're going to want is to put all of our... How am I going to do this? I want one chest for the assembled dusts, right? Like there. And I want another chest for the assembled broken bits, the stuff that come crushed, that's what I'm looking for, and another for the broken. So if that's the one for broken, I do not have any cobble blocks on me. There's a reason I'm doing it this way. If I put those chests together, they would have formed double chest, which is not what I want. The auto packager takes things from the left side chest and assembles them into the right side chest. So what I'm trying to do here, I put that way far away. Anyway, I want to filter those into there, auto pack them, and then have the squares on the other side, the blocks on the other side, the iron ore gravel, the iron ore sand, etc. Those I want to hammer down and feed back into the system. The dusts and everything that's not a metal, so for example the cactus seeds and the certus quartz, I want to head over this way and put it into a series of barrels. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to move these chests closer, and I put them way too far out. I'm going to get some more ducting, build 2 more auto packagers, and we'll be back. Actually, you know what? This episode is already a bit long, or it's right at my target time, so I've got automatic processing of sand, gravel, and dust into the auto sifters. I'm going to break the episode there, and then we'll handle assembly and everything else in the next episode. So I'm going to split this episode into 2 bits. Thank you for watching. As always, if you are enjoying it, hit the like button for me. If you're not enjoying it, leave me a comment on how I can do better. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.